Hey, AfterBuzzers, we are talking Girls Season 6, Episode 5, Gummies. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, the song's my jam. No, for real. Like, I love Third Eye Blind.
I was just saying how it reminds me of it. We finally found, well, TK found the movie. Can't hardly wait.
We were talking about it for like 10 minutes.
I'm like, it's from a movie, I think.
That girl, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Need a Crush. I've never seen it, but
good movie. Good movie.
Everyone, check it out. Anyways, oh my gosh, what an episode. We're here talking girls. I am your host, Renee Ariel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel. And I have a panel full of wonderful ladies. Where can everyone find you?
Please make me Instagram famous and find me on Mina Makes Magic.
Hey guys, my name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on at TK Trinidad on everything. Shout out to Give Me Shelter, Lulu Tube, Amin Coleman, and already somebody's hopped in on the live chat too. So shout out to, I don't know, my best friend Jill. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay. Hey girl.
Hey guys. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
Okay, guys, this was a great episode. Overall thoughts, quick thoughts. What did you think?
Hilarious.
Hilarious?
I thought it was heavier than hilarious. It's always kind of both to me.
Yeah.
I love it. I love every girls episode.
Yeah.
Though.
It was interesting.
That sounded like you didn't love it.
It wasn't. Yeah, it's nothing right home about.
Well, we'll get into it.
Sounds
But
good.
let's start with something that I think we've been waiting for. At least I've been. I'm sure we've all been. The breakup.
Yes.
Marnie and Ray, finally. That was the most awkward thing. You're seeing her in the hallway when he's in the other room, the dark room, and she's just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And he finally is like, why don't we not meet up later? Why don't we just break up?
Finally. I'm like, it's like he felt her vibe. He's been feeling this for a very long time, and I think Ray has just been avoiding the situation.
Oh, totally.
And I think he's been giving Marnie too much time to maybe get her act together.
He's like hoping.
He's hoping, and I think that day, he's trying to remember his friend who just died, and I think that day he was just fed up, and he's like, look, girl, cut it out. Let's just break up. And I think he was just like, this is it. Like, bye.
Who predicted this last week where they said, someone said, one of you three.
I think I did.
Yeah, I think it was you. You said that now he's going to have like a completely new
come
perspective.
to Jesus moment. Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's
that time.
Makes sense. Like, that thing was terrible. And the fact that Marnie is just like, she doesn't want to be with him, but when he breaks up with her, she's like, seriously? Like, she still wants to have the option available, even though she doesn't even fight for it.
Right.
She doesn't care, but at the same time, she doesn't want him to go because it's there.
It was also probably an ego thing as well, because she's the one being dumped.
Yeah.
And there was projecting going on where she was like, I'm not a bad person, because she knows she's been a bad person.
Right.
Especially to Ray. She's been terrible. She's been cheating on him. She's been, she hasn't been present whenever they've been together. She hasn't really cared. I mean, one of the first things that was said between them was he was trying to make, he was telling some story about being a little kid and how that was easier. And she's like, oh yeah, being a little kid. Like, didn't contribute at all.
So why is she even wasting her time? She just got rid of him, but...
I think she did, like we always say, Marnie just loves the attention, and she, even though she's been avoiding Ray, and I think she loved that attention that she got from him.
Right.
But you're right. Like, I think it would have been better to her if she broke up with Ray.
Yeah.
And I think they both didn't want to be there, but I think she wanted to do it on her terms. And I think he was fed up. Like, his friend just died. He's like, look, life's too short. You don't want to be here. I don't want you to be here. We might as well just break up. And she tried to justify it, like, I'm not a bad person. Yes, you are a bad person. In this situation, you're a bad person.
To Ray, she was a bad person. He doesn't even know that she cheated on him still. I think that's so messed up. But I love that moment, actually, comparing the moment between him and Marnie talking about death and then the moment between him and Shosh talking about death.
Right.
Because Marnie's like, we're all going to die. We're all going to be dead. Whereas Shosh, they share this very sweet moment. I always love seeing scenes with Ray and Shosh. And it was really nice seeing that. Finally, two people in the present moment listening to each other, actually having like a real conversation.
And I love how Shosh is like, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna die.
She decided she's not gonna die.
And Ray is like, please don't die. That would like literally kill me. And it's almost like foreshadowing, I think, going on where you're like, Ray's gonna fall for Shosh again.
Somebody actually predicted, I think in last week's chat, that like she was gonna last week. She was talking about instead of telling Ray not to kill himself, show she was also like almost like a cry for help. Somebody.
That's
in the
what
chat
I was
last week.
wondering when I was asking you guys last week. I said, what do you think that meant? And we were kind of like saying, for her to check in with Ray. I will say this one thing that I'm actually very concerned about you saying that. Because Lena Dunham will go out with a bang. Yeah. Mark my words. And the actress, what is her name? Zosia?
Yeah.
She went on an interview and they were saying like the ending of Girls was like putting lemon in a cut. I'm so scared that we're going to lose one of the core characters. I would not put it past Lena because it is the final season. She can do whatever she wants at this point. And why not do something crazy, something very unexpected? Because now it's not like the actress is going to lose her job. The show's ending anyway.
I don't think it's going to be Shosh. If someone commits suicide on the show, it's not going to be Shosh. It's probably going to be like Lorraine or I don't know.
But if you think about it,
I kind of felt like after they brought it up and then watching this episode, I kind of see like, because you kind of get to the point, it feels like she's kind of planned out her life. She was so hardworking in college, and then she went away, and she came back, and she's kind of just still trying to figure out herself. And some people don't get past that. They can't see the light, and opposed to, you know, bearing through and kind of going with life, you just kind of give up. So I can kind of see that. That's a possibility.
I can see that too, because if you think about the past episodes, when you only see Shoshana, she's kind of just there for
sulking.
Ray, and she's kind of sulking when she's a little down. And I didn't think about that until you were bringing that up, because everyone had their issues, but Shoshana's just kind of there, and I feel like she feels like she's just there, and she's just sitting there like,
she doesn't have a storyline right now, and I think they're not showing us for a reason.
I can see that.
Because a lot of the time when someone's depressed or really going through something, they isolate themselves. We don't get to see what they're going through, and it makes me now question what they would do. Like, if this was season 4, I'd be like, nah, they're not going to do anything. But this is the final season. I think it could anything could happen.
That is true.
I hope it's not Shosh. Like, that's the one character.
I think if any character it would be Shosh, just because of the foreshadowing. Like, I don't, like, it would be so weird if all
the second
Marnie,
time that she like mentioned it.
This is true. And she's been not dark, but kind of just down. And it's like she is not like, I know they have so many things going on. It's not like they are checking up on her. So the only time you really see her is when she's with Ray, when she's actually consoling Ray. So you never really see anyone except for the time her and her cousin Jessa had got into it. So you never really see anyone like, hey, Shosha, you good, or what's going on? She's been kind of like just there.
And the fact that she said she's decided she's not gonna die, one of those things, because you can't predict your own death unless you do it yourself.
That's true.
So, you know, there's so many other options. Obviously, she could take pills or do whatever. So it's like she's controlling her destiny, and if she feels like she's not controlled of anything else, the last thing she can control is how she goes out.
Wow.
That's true. I mean, even you think about the way.
True.
Thank you.
Because it wasn't like.
I'm in denial right now. I'm in like 100% denial that this is going to happen with Shosh.
I mean, we don't
Yowzers.
know, obviously, but like that would be crazy. And honestly, I would think for the show, I think it would be genius in a sense, because a lot of viewers. I mean, we weren't paying attention to the fact that Shosh hasn't been in it that much. And that's crazy to think about, because everyone is so distracted, and I feel like that this has happened. People don't realize when someone's going through something, because you're busy with everything. They're not asking for help because people isolate themselves. A lot of the time, people don't ask for help. People aren't like being vocal about it. So I think that is very possible and very scary to think
It's
about.
all those things too, when you ask somebody how they're doing and they say fine, and it's like, that's just so commonplace now. It's like, how are you doing? Fine. And even before they can say fine, you're already moving on to something else anyway. So if somebody were to stop and say, no, I'm not fine, you're gonna be like, I don't have the time for this right now. So like, you should be talking to your friends, or you know what I'm saying. So like, even in today's society, we don't even like, there's certain people that we do check in with, but there's also people who are like giving calls for help, but we don't even notice that.
You don't see it until it's too late, until it's the end, and
Hannah
then you
might
think
like
back.
name the baby Shoshana though. That would be a good
like Shoshana leaving and baby coming in.
Moment.
I think that will be the
man.
moment. I feel
guys,
like
this is getting way too depressing for me.
guys, I think we're on to something. Watch us be so wrong, and they're like that crazy after show. Shoshana was gonna
I let her
do
play the music in the background, because she's been playing some really good selections on every episode. They're gonna play like some really great song in the background, like It's So Hard to Play Goodbye, Boys to Men.
I can see it.
That's
her baby comes in the world. Shoshana goes out. She has
Guys!
a girl.
She takes some pills and the hand goes up, and then starts playing the song, and Hannah's like pushing out the baby.
What's that Fast and the Furious song where it's like, it's been a long time?
Oh yeah.
Oh, God, that
Oh,
song
man,
makes
that
me
song's
cry.
really
I
embarrassing.
cannot.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Come on.
we need to save this for predictions.
Yes.
Remember all this, and we're gonna move on to Maureen coming to town.
Mama Maureen.
Maureen brought her marijuana gummies.
Those good old edibles.
Those good old edibles.
Not that I know.
And she only had like a couple, I guess, so she'd be relaxed. And then by the end of the time together, she was very high.
Those edibles are no joke.
They
My
really
friend
are.
gave me a lollipop, and I was like, how bad? Because I love candy. I was like, how bad can a lollipop be? I was high for about 48 hours.
The lollipops are the worst. I
had
tell
to lie
people,
to my mom.
don't do the
Yeah, it's
lollipops.
not-
It's
it's
the
not a
worst
good
thing
look.
ever on this planet.
It's terrible.
Oh my God.
Gummy bears,
terrible.
cool. Cookies,
good
cool.
warning.
Lollipop, don't.
No.
Back away from the lollipop.
I tried it
guys.
in Miami and I blacked out for 2 days.
Oh my God, yeah, like I
sounds
started,
terrible.
I had it, and then I was sitting at the table, and my friends, I was like, do you feel that? He's like, no. I literally felt like my head was leaving, and then I was in Toronto, and I had a dentist appointment. I didn't know if I could go to the dentist appointment, and then I just crawled into bed, and I was
Don't
done.
do it, kids.
Done.
Don't
Oh my
do
gosh.
it.
Yeah.
But this
Maureen did it.
Maureen did it. This was
Is it Maureen or Laureen? I never.
Maureen.
It is Maureen this whole time. For 6
Yeah.
seasons, I thought it was Maureen. Wow.
I was, oh my gosh, guys, this kind of broke my heart.
It's kind of sad.
That moment, because again, another very real thing that they bring up in Girls. When Maureen disappears because she was very, I guess, hurt by Hannah. Not even by Hannah, by her own insecurities and
Right.
our inner demons that she thinks she's going to end up alone. She's not looking forward to really anything
Right.
now. It seems she does seem depressed, and that was sad seeing, especially someone's mom be like, "Don't tell me I'm gonna find someone."
Right.
That's so sad.
It happens a lot of time when a lot of
Yeah.
older people divorce, and it was sad
And
to
the
see
guys
Maureen
always
say that.
move on.
Always, the guy will move on with a new woman, a new man, and live their
Yeah.
life and look amazing, and the woman is stuck at home like, I'm
Yeah.
by myself, I'm lonely, and it was
I
sad
know,
to see
it's
her
so
say,
weird.
I'm alone, and it's true. Like
Yeah.
when people divorce, the women.
I feel like they stay not loyal, but they don't get into a
Yeah.
relationship for years and years,
Yeah.
if not decades.
It's hard for especially older women to find someone around their age, because you think about it, a man can date someone 20 years younger than him and
Right.
have someone on his arm. A woman, it's like, who am I dating?
I don't think that's even what it is. I think it's more of an investing. Like you, as not to be sexist, but you kind of invest in this person. You invest in your family. You invest in now your child's out of the house. Now your husband is suddenly gay, and now he's moved on to another relationship. It's like you've invested your life this whole time into these people, and now you haven't seen anything in return. It's like, why do you want to do that again and put yourself in that position?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like you kind of
tough.
you rather just not bother, not be in any type of relationship, because then you can kind of guard your feelings and your emotions.
Yeah, but good for Hannah's dad
That's a good point.
for living his truth. It really reminds me of the Kardashian story, with Caitlyn Jenner coming out, and how crazy that must have been for Kris Jenner. But good for him for living, or good for her for living her truth. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think with dating when you're older, divorce, I feel like it just in general it's so hard. But you make a really great point about investing all your time into certain people, investing everything into people. It does take a longer time to be even ready to start dating, to even have the mindset to start looking. And then where do you? I mean, nowadays so many websites.
God.
Girl, if
You
you
can
want
just
to
go
look,
on
go find
Bumble,
someone.
Grandma's
Tinder,
Swipe. Yeah, grandma's
Soul
Tinder.
Swipe.
So many sites. Oh my gosh, I want someone to go out there and count all the dating sites that are out there.
Let's see
because
what we
there's too
have
many.
here.
Yeah,
Bumble,
are we
Tinder,
including
Soul Swipe,
Farmers Only.
Farmers Only, Christian Mingle. Not that I've been on any of these sites.
You're like, I have an account on all of them.
I had an account on all of them at one point, or at least 4 or 5 of them. And then I remember I met somebody like 2 years later. It was a girl. We were talking, and she's like, all those sites, you're always only going on first dates. And then I realized I've been on beyond the too many first dates, and I just got off the site. And once I got off the site, then I was actually able to free up time to actually meet somebody in real life.
I have a theory
love
about
that.
dating apps
I
where I
like
think
that.
everyone goes on dating apps when they're not actually ready to date because it's the quickest way
True
to meet
story.
someone. So that's why I think it's so much more common to meet people or have a good solid relationship when you're out and about.
Right.
Yeah.
Every decent guy I've met has had some kind of baggage where on dating apps they'll have an ex-girlfriend they're hung up on or
Yep.
they're not ready to date, or there's always a reason why they're on that app, because all you have to do is go to your app store,
Exactly.
download Bumble, and you're fine.
Bumble's the best.
But for people who are busy, I mean, doesn't it work more efficiently these days?
No.
I don't know, but I feel I
No.
like the idea of meeting someone in person.
Me
way
too.
more,
Yeah,
because it's
right.
Me too.
That's how you know
organic,
there's a
authentic.
connection.
Because it's real. You guys can feel off each other's vibe
Yeah.
and know if you guys really like each other. Where if you're on an app and you're like, okay, thanks for the pit
Oh my
that you just
gosh.
sent me in my inbox that I didn't ask for.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you guys met someone and been attracted to them for their personality and been like, you're not usually my type looks-wise,
Yes.
but I really
Right.
like who you are. Does that ever happen on Bumble? No, because you don't know who they are. So you're like you just
Exactly.
look at them and half the time, 90% of the time, it's not good.
Yeah.
But moving on from this, check out her dating podcast.
I'm talking to you. We're talking to you.
This brings us to another scene that I totally saw coming, guys. The Jessa and Adam's movie. I said it was gonna bring up some history because Jessa's now realizing, oh my gosh, what they had was a real thing. I feel like she's just I mean, if she even has yet, she's
Right.
going to finally realize what Hannah and Adam had, and it will affect her because she obviously does not know right now.
It already is affecting her. Like, look
Yeah.
how jealous and upset. Like, she feels that just because his relationship with her is valid, it makes hers invalid. Like, I think she wants to be the only one who has something special without realizing, yeah, you can still be special, Jessa. So can Hannah.
Right.
Like, it's not
I
like...
love that Adam's playing himself. Like, they
Yes.
didn't find an Adam. And
Why?
I
2 checks. 3 checks,
I'm like,
actually.
that's what's up, Adam. But I think he's doing that because maybe he doesn't know it yet, but I think reenacting these scenes, it's his way of
cathartic.
getting closure with
Yeah.
Hannah or reliving that relationship because deep down inside, I think he really misses Hannah or that's where I think he wants to be and just is standing on the outside like, wait a minute, this is real?
Finally, I'm telling you, finally.
I'm not
Jessa's
number one.
finally
He wanted to
getting
be
it.
with Hannah. Remember, he wanted to be with her, and she was with that teacher guy. And then
Fran?
after, Fran, and at Marnie's wedding a couple seasons ago, that's when he made the move on Jessa. I
Right.
think that.
It was a
it was
rebound.
just like, it was bad timing. Like, and this is why I still feel like even though Jessa and Adam, they do have really good chemistry, they do have a connection, something in my heart and like my gut intuition is telling me that there's something really special there with Hannah, and I still like stick with my prediction from last week where I think he's going to gravitate towards her, especially now that she's pregnant.
But at the same time, because this is why I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why I don't want that to happen. Because one thing about Lena Dunham's writing is she does not go the cliche route ever.
Right.
Right.
So what would really irk me, being honest, is if everyone got back to their like OG couple status.
Right.
Like if Shosh goes back to Ray, if Hannah goes back to Adam. Like that even is too much for me. Like maybe one of them, it's possible. People break up and get back together, totally. But for all of them, like for us, I'm sure we'd be like, oh my god, memories. But at the same time, it's like that's not how life is.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would hate for a show that's so raw, so real to do that.
But
you
if
know?
Shosh goes back to Ray, I think it's totally different than if Hannah goes back to Ray. Because if
Totally.
Shosh goes back to Ray, she's a new person. Ray is also like has developed and has grown a lot, even though he's already the oldest. So if that relationship develops, it's not someone going back to an old love. It's almost like a new love forming with like some sort of past connection.
And I think with Hannah and Adam, I think if they do get back together, it's gonna be the baby that brings them back together.
Yeah.
Like I think for them, that's why I would like to see that because I would like to see like this one thing in the middle, like because it shows Adam as an adult, it shows Hannah growing up, and it shows their, because he took care of his sister's baby for a little bit, and I think that's what he really wants, and that's why I think doing this movie is hilarious, and I love that he's playing himself because I think he's reliving the scenes, and I think he's thinking to himself like, wait, we did really have good times, but I love how they made her mentally ill.
Oh my gosh, that scene.
I love her facial expression.
Was so funny.
Facial expression kills me. Like all the times that like someone says something negative or like messed up to Hannah, like the look on her face is priceless. Always. It's my favorite thing.
Jessa's just in the corner like, wait, this is real. He actually liked Hannah.
Yeah,
Okay.
finally. I mean, I have some predictions about that, but the last thing I really wanted to get into was this scene that broke my heart. I mean, out of everything in this episode, Elijah and Hannah. I totally get where Elijah is coming from.
Right.
But at the same time, like, it's your job to be supportive of a decision your friend makes, especially like that kind of a decision. Yeah. I think here's the difference. If your friend was like, you know what, I really want to try meth and I want to be on meth and that's what I want to do, and you're like, if that's what you want to do, I'm supportive. That's different.
Right.
But if your friend's like, listen, I want to make this work, I want to have a baby, and I really want to make this work, you have to be supportive.
Yes and no, because she's including him in the plan. Like you
That's
can't,
true.
You can't do that.
You can't include him. I agree that you can't include him in the.
He didn't ask for this.
Yeah, you can't. Do
I
that.
agree.
But
You
like
can't include him
he
in the
was
plan.
Being so like, he's like another version of Hannah at times. He was being such a little narcissist. He was being rude. He was being, like, self-centered. The fact that he was, the way he was talking to her, like, yeah, it's okay to tell your friend, hey, I don't think you should do this. This is my opinion. It is not okay to, like, be like, you'll be a terrible mom and this and that. And, like, what I'm
I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think he meant that. I think he was doing that because I think he's scared that now if Hannah has this baby, who's going to pay attention to Elijah?
Yeah,
he just had that big breakup, and if you look at Elijah, he's also going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and it's like no one's kind of really paying attention to him, and he's doing all these drugs, and he's, you know, he's still soaking in that last relationship. So I think he's honestly scared. I don't think he means those things, and I think if she does decide to keep this baby, he is gonna come around. I think he's just like, no, like once you have this baby, I'm not gonna be here anymore.
Or it might push him the totally other way, and he's like, I can't do this.
True.
But at the same time, again, guys, like, it just comes down to what it is to be a friend. Yeah. And you have to be supportive. Does not mean you have to be involved. You could say, listen, like, I'm going to support what you do. I just don't know if this is right for you right now, like where you are in life. Right. I can't say that I'm going to be a part of this life, but if a part of your baby's life. But I'm here for you. I'm your friend. Right. That's what you do as a friend. You don't say, you're going to be a terrible mom. I'm going to make decisions for you, because ultimately it's Hannah's decision.
But sometimes you have to call it as you see. Like, if he takes himself out of it, say hypothetically he thinks that she's actually going to be a terrible mom, then, you know, that's just his opinion. But it's still, like, I'd rather somebody tell me that than say, oh, no, you're going to be a wonderful mom. And then the kid's there, and it's like, I always thought you were going to be a terrible mom, but I just didn't want to say it because you were pregnant. Like, you know, and still that person's opinion, you can still do whatever you want. But, you know, if he really feels that and it's not about him moment, then he's entitled to that. And that's the thing with friendships. If you're true friends, like, you can accept that. All right, well, that's how you feel, whatever, and you continue.
I'm gonna still keep my baby.
Yeah. I think it's about communication, though. Yeah. Like, he did not communicate. Yes, you can have your own opinion, but what he did, in my opinion, was not okay, and not what a friend should do.
I think he was just so upset. But you're right. Like, I don't know what I would have done if my friend would have said that, but I think he took his anger and pain and just thought of, like, how he can hurt Hannah the most, and he just spit it out. Even if that's what he thought, I think he just took the worst words and was like, you're gonna be a terrible mother. And same thing with Hannah's mom. She's like, when I look at your baby, I'm gonna see my death. And it's like,
I know.
So
she was under the influence, though.
She was, but I think, you know, for Hannah, it's like the two important people right now in her life, it's like they're not. Of course, her mother's happy, but it's like at that moment, they're not being supportive.
But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about, you know, Hannah deciding to have this kid? Like, I think
it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what her friends think. It just doesn't matter. That's what I'm getting, like, so bothered about. Is like, if you are, it's not like she's saying this. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go find a stranger, and I'm gonna go get knocked up. Right. She's not saying that. She is pregnant. The problem that she's trying to figure out and solve is already existing. Like, it's not like she's deciding to get pregnant. That would be one thing. Is if she wanted to do this. The damage has been done. Yeah. So the next step for your mom, for your friends, is to be supportive of whatever decision you make, because every decision you're making right now is hard.
That's like a lot of family members, though. Some family members, sometimes someone's pregnant in the family, at first they don't know how to react. They get nervous and they say hurtful things, and they say, like, oh, you shouldn't keep this baby. You're going to be a horrible mother. And then a week or two, maybe months, or even when the baby's here, that's when usually people come around. I know when women tell people that they're pregnant, they don't always get the response that we would want them to get, which sucks, because this is her decision and she took the responsibility, and she's okay with it. She's like, you know, I've been thinking about it. So I think her mom is going through something about being alone without dad, and I think Elijah's going through something, and they didn't know how to handle her news, and unfortunately it sucked the way they did.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's one of those situations that, especially when you have something that's not expected, and she's not in, you know, the proper situation, right? So everybody's going through their stuff. It's not like she got married and now everybody's expecting her to have a kid, because that's a totally different situation. So everybody's going through their things, and I think in that situation, even it's kind of sucky for them both to say that and do the things that she did. I think Elijah was kind of upset that he didn't know. He had to find out through her mom, you know, being high. Yeah. And so that's that situation. And the mom is, you know, going through her life crisis, like you were saying, and they're dealing with those situations as well. And let's be honest, like, as we get older and you're seeing kids who are like 5, everybody's dying slowly, day at a time.
So happy way to look at
this conversation before, and I was like, TK, this is the most depressing outlook on life.
It's not depressing.
You think we're dying every day.
It is, but it should motivate you to live your fullest life.
True
like, you can't, like, in all honesty, if I were to die tomorrow, I'd be very happy with my life thus far.
Technically, we're not dying every day. I feel like there's the hill. We're
Not
starting
ugly,
to
not
grow.
going in.
Okay, shows.
Shoshana.
Okay, shows.
I am
Are you
not
okay,
going
Renee?
die.
Are you okay?
Shows.
Do we need to check in on you, girl? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
No, it's
goes the
true.
pills.
But I do like that. You know, I know this is the last season, but I like seeing the aspect of her taking the responsibility, because I feel like a few seasons ago, if this would have happened, we would have got a different Hannah.
Right.
But I like that, you know, she sat down at the computer, she made her list of reasons
Let's talk about the
not
first
to
scene
have
with
the
the pill,
baby.
though.
Why is she taking the
Yeah.
responsibility? The question is, why is she doing it? Is she doing it because it's something that will change her life? Like, is that what it is? Like, she wants something new? Why is Hannah taking, why is Hannah
Like, why is she
deciding,
thinking about having this
yeah,
baby?
like, out of nowhere.
I think she's
Because
at an
it's
age.
not out of nowhere. She's pregnant. There's literally two routes to
options,
go down.
yeah.
This was not something she had ever discussed on the show prior, even when she wasn't pregnant. There was
Right.
never a discussion about
Right.
having kids. It's just something that happened, and all of a sudden she's presented.
That's because you have to make the decision,
But
though.
did it really happen though? Come on, there are condoms, there's birth control.
Right.
Like she was having, before the surfer guy, she was still kind of having sex here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Unprotectedly.
like, I mean, you're putting yourself in that position. So I think subconsciously she kind of thought if she were to get pregnant, this
Right.
this is the option.
Oh, you think this is something she already, like,
She
may
kind
have
of
thought?
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you're rolling dice. Well, you know, we'll see what happens. That's what you do. If you're
Right.
gonna have unprotected sex, not use a condom, and not be on birth control, and then think life is gonna be gravy and you're not gonna, you know, there's not gonna be any consequences to it, then, you know, like sometimes I think people do certain things subconsciously.
Yeah.
That, like, it's like, oh well, this happened. Oh well, I'll just continue. You know, I'll just stick with the baby. You know what I'm saying? I think subconsciously that's, you know, that she was maybe using the kid to make her feel older. Like, okay,
True.
it's time to have a responsibility. That's time to be an adult, because you're gonna have sex with a random guy that you're never gonna see again.
Raw.
Diseases, all that stuff. I
From
want to be able to
a
look
surf
you
camp.
up and be able to kill you if you give me
That's
something.
true.
That's what
I
I'm
swear
saying.
to God.
Because, like, she
Yeah,
she
you're
already,
gonna be like, I'm crazy. If I'm gonna have sex with some random dude,
Yeah.
I need to find you,
Yeah,
bro.
I need to be able to find you. I need to
I need
know
to
where
message
you
you.
live. I need, yeah.
Well, she can, guys, I think she could easily get a hold of him. I don't think that's the issue.
No, he's at Atlantis on the cruise ship, surfing with his girlfriend.
But the thing is, I'm not saying that Hannah can't be a single mom. She totally could. But based on her actions, she's making it seem like she doesn't want to be a single mom, because she's like, Elijah,
Yeah.
I thought you would help me.
Right.
Mom, I
yeah.
thought you would help me. So is she really being responsible by putting the burden of responsibility on other people to help her?
I think she's still going back and forth.
She's scared.
She's scared. Like, I think that's a natural reaction. I think this is something, like you said, subconsciously, like she went into it. But I think, like, when you're pregnant, you're like, okay,
Yeah, then
I
you
need
have
to
the whole crap moment.
I need to
Yeah.
sit down and figure this out. She may not even keep her baby. She may
Yeah,
get an
we don't
abortion.
know.
That episode is not going to even show us what's going to happen. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, she is only a few weeks pregnant. She can still get the abortion. I think for her, she's going through that old
'Cause she's doing the
moment.
list on the
She's making a
computer,
list.
so yeah.
So like, you're
Yeah.
already for sure. You're not making that list. You're like, I'm just going to have this baby. But
Right.
she's talking to it with her mom. She's like, oh, Elijah, I thought that you would be here with me. And
Yeah.
I think she's still going back and forth.
I agree with that. I mean, we'll find out, but that kind of does bring us into predictions if we want to
Actually,
hop on
before
in
that,
there.
her conversation with the my bad. Her conversation with the actor Hannah.
Ah.
Yeah.
How she has 3 kids.
Oh yeah, she actually said a quote that I really liked.
yeah, the kids
Yeah.
are super
She said
easy.
kids
Yeah.
are easy. Being an adult is
It's
hard.
Being an adult, that's
It
hard.
is.
Yeah. It's very true.
Adulting is not fun. It
Yeah.
is hard.
No,
Girls,
stay a kid.
yeah.
Stay forever
Don't grow
young
up.
as
I
long
now
as
know
you
what
can.
Michael Jackson and Peter Pan were talking about.
Wow.
Don't grow up.
You can go totally out.
Yeah, those are very
It's
interesting
hard.
examples.
They didn't want to grow up.
Well, Michael Jackson had to grow up.
He did, but I
that's
get where
why
he's
he didn't
coming
want to,
from.
because he never got to enjoy his youth.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Anyway. Oh, Michael
I'm not
Jackson.
okay.
Wait, did you want to talk about the discussion, or is there anything you want
No,
to
I just
bring up?
found that with the discussion is kind of one of those things where when somebody there's people who have kids and they make it seem so like terrible, like oh my God, and then there's people who have kids and they're still just as busy as everybody else, but they seem to enjoy having
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that this woman has 3 kids, she's acting in this little mini thing, and she seems genuinely happy.
Yeah.
Right. It just it provides a different perspective. Like okay, this woman can have 3 kids, and I can definitely do one.
Yeah,
It was like Hannah looking at herself
to get all the perspectives.
It's like she was literally looking at herself in the future.
Well, yeah.
Same dress, same color.
Yeah, same lipstick.
Same lipstick.
That was
3 kids.
I mean, she was in wardrobe.
Is Hannah gonna have 3 kids?
2 by Adam, maybe.
10-year predictions.
Predictions.
Yeah, predictions. Who wants to start? Who's got it? I'll start.
Okay.
I'll start. Okay, so I think that the movie with Jessa and Adam is only going to make. I think it's only really going to affect Jessa, to be honest, because Adam right now just seems unfazed completely. I think Jessa's really going to realize how much hurt she caused Hannah, and that the relationship was something, and this is going to lead to a discussion between Jessa and Hannah.
Right.
Possibly a breakup from Adam, but definitely a talk between Hannah and Jessa. I also think that Shosh, I think something's up with Shosh. I don't know when we'll find out. I don't know if she will kill herself or what will happen with that, but I think there's something going on that is very serious, that there's a reason why they're not showing her storyline as much, and we're only getting her in like 2-minute clips every episode, and I think it's going to happen all of a sudden. I think they didn't think we'd catch on, but we did, and if we're wrong, this is a really embarrassing thing to
Maybe
guess.
she's like acting in a movie and that's all the time.
I was like, what is that?
We're like, something's wrong. But anyways, yeah, those are all of my predictions, I believe. Oh, and I think Hannah will end up keeping the baby. That's my guess.
Really?
I think she'll almost get an abortion and then decide to keep the baby. I don't know why. I really think she'll keep it.
I think she's gonna tease us for a while.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's gonna be this back and forth thing, and it could go either way. Like, I don't know. I feel like on the one hand, she might get an abortion because it might be like a pro-choice message, like you do whatever you want. But it could still be a pro-choice message and be like keeping the baby, but keeping the baby just. Not trying to be judgmental, but this is gonna sound super judgmental. I feel like keeping the baby at this stage, she hasn't fully grown for her to be able to take care of a kid. She doesn't have.
Like
she's
a
not
quarter
gonna,
of America.
She's not gonna have. She's not gonna have the help she needs to raise it. Who's gonna help her? She's gonna do it all on her own. Living in New York as a writer, like how is she gonna do that? I mean, J.K. Rowling did it, and she's my biggest inspiration. The fact that J.K. Rowling was a single mom and was able to make it as a writer is incredible. That's a testament that Hannah could do it too. But for me right now, it's hard for me to envision her having a kid without extra help because she's not fully grown yet. It's going to be hard for her.
Wait, one little thing though. She is spreading a message about pro-choice, because pro-choice is just having the choice, and knowing that she has the choice, making
she can
that
keep it or,
an automatic. That's already the message.
Right.
So she doesn't have to get an abortion for that to be pro-choice. But
and then also, I totally agree with you. By the way, about the Jessa thing. Like, she looks so jealous. The whole thing. I mean, I don't get why she has to feel special, and why someone not having a good relationship equates to her being extra special. You can have special relationships with different people in different ways.
I think that's how she's been able to date Adam, is thinking that her relationship with his relationship with Hannah was nothing.
Yep.
That's the only way she's been able to justify it, I think.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Other than that, though, what was the other thing? Oh, we're on to Ray now. Ray and Shosh. You guys are seriously making so many good arguments for Shosh killing herself, and it's just like me loving Shosh so much, and also she's an annoying character in many ways, but now that she's grown, she has also grown on me. But since day one, I've related to Shosh the most out of any character. I'd be really sad to see her go. If anyone's gonna kill themselves, I feel like I feel like
it's not like something that they said for sure this season. Someone's gonna die.
We've just been making this whole thing up.
But I feel like if anyone were, I just can't see it being Shosh. Although you guys have made some incredibly convincing arguments, I wonder why she's not getting a lot of time on TV, even though she's back from Japan. Before, it's because she was in Japan.
Right.
Now,
she actually got more time while she was in Japan.
What's the reason now for her not being on air? I don't know, but I hope she doesn't kill herself, because that is literally gonna kill Ray.
I'm telling you, they do everything on purpose. I feel like there's a reason why we don't see her a lot.
You think it's an intentional choice by Lena?
100%.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Oh, you guys have made it like
this season. She's been upping her pen game.
I'm gradually convinced, but I'm still in denial because I do not want to see Shosh go. I'd be so depressed to not see her in the movies that they're gonna make about girls. Like, guys, she needs to be in that movie.
They're working so hard for every scene with Shosh to be like a sweet, like more likable moment. We're doing that so they can break our hearts.
That makes that's a really good argument. Because she always comes in
to say goodbye to yesterday.
I don't want this to be a depressing end. I want it to be uplifting.
Oh my gosh, it'll be okay. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm totally done. But I do. You guys are totally convincing me that there's some weird foreshadowing with Shosh, but I hope not. I hope Shosh and Ray get back together and it stays strong.
So Koshi says she totally thinks that Hannah's gonna keep the baby. So that's off the live chat. So I think in everybody's life, you have these defining moments that makes you an adult. So even though maybe Hannah's kind of going back and forth, if she does have the baby, she might have that oh crap moment and actually grow up faster than she would have if she didn't have the kid. So that might be one of those things where it's just like, okay, I need to, even though she was, thinking of Elijah and her mom, then you kind of come to Jesus moments, like, I have a kid now, I need to write, and I need to do this. And that might be the catalyst in her, doing more articles and books and stuff like that. So that might be a positive thing, because for me, watching all the seasons, my biggest annoyance with them is like, okay, you guys are done college, yeah, you're in New York, but like, grow up. And because of privilege and finances and stuff, they were able to avoid certain things where it's like, I don't know what's like not to be homeless or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are gonna be some moments where she's gonna grow up. Jessa, I think the thing with Jessa is Hannah and Adam never had a closure. The whole Dr. Phil thing, like the whole closure at the end of the relationship.
Out of all comparisons, Dr. Phil.
Hannah and Adam never had a closure moment, and I think Adam, after the whole thing, when Adam wanted Hannah back and she said no, I think he kind of closed that off. But Adam never really talked about his relationship with Hannah with Jessa, so she's kind of just going off of what she thinks, what she saw. She's like, oh well, all you guys did was watch fat people do whatever and eat Cheetos in the bed. It's like, how do you you saw bits and pieces because you were privy to the relationship, but you didn't see all the intimate moments. So I think the thing is about relationships, if you don't learn from it and you don't at least discuss it, then Jess is kind of going off of what she feels and what she thinks, which is still an immature thing. So she's definitely going to get jealous, and it's all going to be about her when in real life it's never about you. So grow up. And then Marnie, love the fact that Ray broke up with Marnie, and I think she's going to realize that she, like a lot of folks do, they took a really good situation, a good person, and they go for the bad choice, and she's going to have like, oh crap, and Ray's going to be just done with her. And then she's definitely going to... kick the bucket.
Stop.
All right, so I think Hannah is going to keep the baby. When I first found out that she was pregnant, I kind of wanted her to have an abortion. Not that I'm like, get that abortion, but I would have thought it would have been a great episode. Like a pro-choice type of moment. But like we said, a lot of women who get pregnant, they don't have that choice to be like, man, I got to make a list. Who's going to help me? A lot of times they just do it. Oh, snap, I'm going to have this baby, my second baby, and they just do it and they become adults. And I know that happens to a lot of single women. Even women who have help, sometimes the guys leave and they have to grow up themselves. Yeah. So I think this might actually show that, because like you said, in the past episodes of Girls, you just see these girls living in Williamsburg, Greenpoint, Brooklyn, expensive Brooklyn, living the life, and you never really seen anything.
Brooklyn's dangerous, remember?
Oh, Brooklyn's the most dangerous. I'm like, really? It's the most gentrified borough in New York City. She's like, you're not Little Kim. But I think this baby might be a real moment, like on the show and for Hannah, and I think it might force her to grow up and write that book that I predicted that I think she's going to write.
Carrie Bradshaw moment.
Yeah, have a Carrie Bradshaw moment. And she also had not a Samantha, Miranda moment, because when Miranda got pregnant in Sex and the City fact, she does say the quote, "Is this my baby?" Because she was going back and forth about having the abortion.
Right.
So when Hannah's mom's like, "You've been thinking about, is this your baby?"
Right.
I think she's gonna go back and forth, and I think they're gonna tease us, but I think she's gonna have the baby.
Is that before the cancer or after the cancer?
Samantha had the cancer. Miranda's the one who had the baby.
Yes. Okay,
so Miranda's like, because Miranda wanted the abortion, and her friends were like, "What are you doing?" But this is a woman in her 30s, and she said, "Is this my baby?" And the same thing that Hannah mom said, "Is this your baby?" At 27. So I think she's gonna keep the baby. I also think that Adam doing this movie, it's either gonna bring up old feelings, or maybe he is gonna have closure because he's playing himself. And Jessa on the outside I think she's gonna ruin it for herself, because she's gonna be jealous and bring up a lot of things. And I think, like you said, it's not about you. I think for Adam, he wanted the closure, but I think she's gonna mess up this relationship. And as we've seen on the scenes, Adam and Hannah are going to be talking, and I think it might bring them a little bit closer. If Shoshana does not kill herself, I do see her being super depressed and having a depressed moment, and maybe someone noticing at the end that she's depressed for the sake of the movie, that she doesn't kill herself. But I do see something tragic happening because she's been kind of just there, just coasting, and no one's been kind of paying attention to her.
She could just be acting in another movie that
she
we
could
have
just be
no
super
idea
busy
about.
and having a great summer coming up, and we don't know if she's gonna kill herself. But and I think for Marnie, I don't know if Shoshana and Ray are gonna get together. I think it might bring their friendship a little bit closer, and maybe it'd be good if they stay single and get to know themselves and grow up a little bit, because now Ray is having this moment where Hermie dies, and I think he needs to grow up a little bit, even though Ray's the most mature on the show. And I think Marnie, I just can't deal with Marnie. I can't. I don't even have a prediction for her. I can't. That's it.
Good luck to you, Marnie.
Bye, Marnie.
Or the baby in general, because if you notice, a lot of the scenes, everybody is like separated. They're doing their own thing, as we do as adults. I think the baby might bring everybody together, and then
that's very true.
Yeah,
true.
Like a grown-up moment, like, Hannah has a baby. Maybe it's time for me to become like an adult, not necessarily go and get pregnant, but
True.
I love that they're doing that too. That they're distancing everyone, because that is real life. That is adulthood. But anyways, you guys, that pretty much sums up this episode. I am now very nervous. I know.
Every Sunday you're gonna be like, please don't die, Shoshana.
Please don't die. But I guess we'll see what happens. Make sure to leave your predictions and everything in the comments below. But before we leave, let's introduce ourselves one last time and tell us where to find you.
You can find me on Instagram on Mina Makes Magic. Please help me get to 100K. I'm at 600 right now.
Yes.
600, just
600. But
oh my gosh, you so casually were like, I'm trying to get to 100K. I'm at 600 right now.
Please follow Mina.
Yes.
100K by tomorrow.
Mina makes magic, but I make magic, so who knows?
I mean, the fact that only at all right, girl. Help her get to 100K. All 1,000 people who watched last week's episode. Please tell your friends.
Create like 100 accounts.
My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me at TK Trinidad on everything. I read all the predictions and I read all your comments, all that good stuff. So keep those coming. Really appreciate it.
Guys, I'm Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom, and you can check me out Monday on The Breaks and Feud.
And I am Renee Ariel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel. And for all of us here at AfterBuzz, you can follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat at AfterBuzz TV. But we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.